cheer you up?
A hug would help.
If I hug you, will you go back to work?
Yes.
2-second hug, I'm going in. Aww. How did you just do that? Your hands never left my back.
I am like David Blaine of Zippers.
I was trying to cheer you up.
You did.
Do
Is he here? Or-
yeah, his demo's. He's said he'll be right back. He's downloading
Okay.
the demo right now.
You got my message, right?
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, yeah.
My demos are sent, so
Yeah, I think
Just-
I'm gonna see if the.
if D sent his, then we're all square.
Well, it's
No
only.
pun intended.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if he doesn't send his, then me and him get a penalty, but only me and him. Nobody else really. I don't think.
Oh,
at
okay.
least. But I don't want to give the penalty because I already got one for not submitting my demos. So.
Yeah, I got scared that I couldn't find mine for a second, and then I realized they were in my demos folder. Because my PREC used to put them somewhere else, so
Yeah.
I was having trouble finding them.
I heard they're gonna like try to possibly remake Prereq after the recent SDK release.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
But don't you still need something like I forget what it was that they needed.
I don't know. But yeah. So right now our roamer and our pocket scout are in this call via. So. Yeah, like I said, we were doing pretty well on mids. We just had a hard time converging rounds and into like a last push. I think we had like 2 last pushes, I want to say. Maybe 1 at the most.
I think for me it felt like I was losing everyone before I could do anything.
Okay.
Like before the plays even set up, it felt like I was losing 2 or 3 players.
Gotcha. Alright. So left side mid, whenever you're doing a left side mid out of valley like this, you've always got to keep in mind that if you don't see a soldier, he's probably in cafe, which it looks like you guys recognize. So just off this alone, this first mid should be your guys's, get a soldier kill, and then win off the numbers, play it slow, focus fire, etc. You actually get 2 picks, so now it's even better. There's probably a certain point you want to stop rotating, because if you just keep rotating, you'll let them out. So you might want to like come back over and see if you can't wipe them here now that they're down 2. Your soldiers bombing now is definitely the time to get in. Your med dies, so now it's all about your med alive, which you guys do. None of their players are able to really get in, so pretty clean mid. Basically a full wipe. This last guy's not super important. Now you guys should start taking lobby, start looking to kill the gun early if you can. So it'd be good to support your soldier top right to spam happen. Gun goes down, that's really good. So we're taking a top right Uber. Maybe slightly rushed. Your other soldier is... I don't know where your other soldier is.
He's rolling out.
Half HP. Rolling out. Your flank scout's unbuffed. And they're only 15%, so you could definitely get everyone buffed up and keep the gun down, but we take the Uber. So, I think your demo actually could have caught everyone there with how they were positioned if you'd focused on the spawn door. That's okay. Point gets cleared. Fade and cap. Unfortunately, this push is kind of over, so I didn't quite see what happened on the flank side, but getting the buffs going before the push would help. I doubt it's a coincidence that your flank kind of died during it, and they were the ones that weren't that healthy. I also think your demo could have killed everyone in that right shutter. Looks like his first sticky went to the gun, which normally is what you want to have happen, but you know, you can always kill a gun after you get the other picks. The sentry gun can't move, the players can. So probably just a priority mistake maybe. And then I think your combo played it fine, stayed together, baited the cap, but really to win this push you need to kill the people that bomb the point and stuff like that, and it wasn't really able to happen. And your flank couldn't get in either. So maybe the timing on when your flank came in was a little off. I'm not sure. If you're ever getting like punished in the flank really hard in last pushes and you can't get in, you could always have your combo cross, like pop in top right and cross to left to let your flank in, or you could have your flank trail the Uber, and behind it, and that could be good. Solo bomb on the 2's probably not gonna work out. Actually ends up getting the med though, so I'm not actually even sure how that happened, but
I think our soldier weakened him enough, and I was able to get the last hit.
Yeah, I hit like a
Keep choking
rocket on
it.
him, and he surfed towards choke.
He was in a pretty bad position, so it was an easy follow-up.
yeah. I mean, bombing in like that alone is pretty dangerous. You're probably just gonna die for nothing, but they weren't really like, blue team like didn't react to you at all, so
Yeah.
it kind of worked out.
I noticed like their scouts weren't really pressuring me that hard when I was in, so I just kept bombing a lot on their mid, and usually
Okay.
worked out.
Alright, this bomb should be very predictable. Therma doesn't die to this. We get force to that. Full HP force?
It looks like he surfed to a bad spot, but I didn't realize he wasn't damaged at all.
No, he didn't. I didn't see it. Maybe there's a sticky on the floor. Maybe he saw something I didn't, but looked like he could have held that. I'm not sure. That bomb shouldn't get a force either way. Very predictable bomb in my opinion, but I don't think it matters. The damage has been done. Your demo getting on the point's a little scary. I feel like that's a common kind of mistake where like when the cap time's so close, everyone like sometimes even your medic, everyone starts trying to get on the point, and it's like that's how you lose a push. You need to be disciplined and let the enemy team do that, and especially as an explosive class, just stay back and get the damage on the point. Let your scouts try to play it. Okay. Not a whole lot to talk about that round. Mostly just nitpicky stuff. Mid was good.
The initial push should have gotten it. You're right, though.
Probably so. Just a little bit rushed. Whenever you have like super ad, like 90 ad kind of stuff, like you're taking second when their medic is dead. That's definitely a time to guarantee everyone's got a buff. It's not like a 30 ad push where it's like we gotta hurry up. So it looks like we're going for the same mid. We'll see if this left side soldier gets accounted for. Not really, but he gives himself away with spam rockets, so your demo dies across the map. So your team's pushing forward, but your medic is pretty far back. And so are you as well on scout, so obviously you're concerned about the soldier behind. And that is a valid thing to be concerned about, but you probably want to be keeping up with the team as you're keeping him in check. It was a little strange to like rotate back around this corner so far away. It's a small difference, but even just coming around the front of the Tetris might make the difference between your demo living and dying if he just gets beam or an arrow a little bit sooner. And yeah, the reason you would rotate around this way is to avoid damage from their team, but if you're rotating into their soldier cafe, you're not really avoiding the danger. Kind of just moving away from one to the other. And now your medic's kind of caught out because everyone's separated. So you guys just were super slow to rotate on the scout and medic side. And now it's kind of salvage mid. Unfortunately, not going to work out. So it looks like you guys are going for the same kind of thing. Roll out Valley, go left, rotate around left. But I guess the soldiers spooked you guys that you were super slow rotating, and then players died in front, and by the time you were finally getting the fight, it was already kind of over, and you guys just got swarmed. So I don't know if you guys are actively searching for that soldier when you show up to that mid. If you're thinking like, you know, at least from the combo scout POV, maybe even your pocket soldier should be thinking this as well. If I don't see a soldier in front, he's in cafe. Probably going to be the case 9 times out of 10. If you can't see him in front, he's in there. So in that case, if you see that's the case and you notice that, it may be a good idea to go for that kill and send like your soldier and flank scout to chase that guy down in cafe and kill him. Just take the 2v1 and then continue with your rotating left side because he's completely alone when his team rotates away towards your cafe. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if you guys are looking for that or not, but it didn't seem like it. It'd probably be a good thing to add into that left side mid is just if he's in there, look to kill him. And that way you guys don't get separated as well. So pretty interesting gun spot. Does a good job of spreading their Uber out. This looks like you guys should hold. They've got 2 players very weak. Their demo is also weak, and he's separated from your team. Their like damage classes are all tied up in random MGE fights, so as long as the scout's not able to cap for free, it should be good. Their whole combo wipes. You guys lose no one, so nice. All right, I'm gonna push out. We spot 1 player, no back cap. Can probably be good to stack. You should probably know you're not going to deny anything but the 1 soldier, but that might be worth it on its own. Cafe is fine. You know that they also probably have a sniper, so that's just the one thing is don't get dropped by the sniper. I liked what you guys were doing, like the fast cafe. You basically caught their team, but you guys just, I guess, didn't think about sniper being a threat.
That's such an insane spot.
When I'm rolling it through Valley, I'm jumping through. I said the sniper's on Bell Tower, like I think 3 times.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm able to bomb him after the demo debts. So like, but at that time I'm already bombing him. I don't know.
Did
For
you guys
taking
hear
the
the call?
fast
Or just
Uber,
ignore it?
then
Or
we
was-
should probably just use early if a sniper is called in a weird position like that.
Yeah, just use before you get to the sight line. You should assume he's going to hit the shot. And if you've been playing the match against them and you've already had like 5 separate times where he's missed, then maybe you can start disrespecting, but should assume he's going to hit it. So I'm guessing your medic just missed the call somehow. But hopefully it wasn't just... You can't disrespect and run in a straight line. But also, like, even if you know he's up there, just popping here, you guys probably catch, maybe not their medic, but you catch several damage classes, and that's good enough. Chain feeding after this is really bad. So these deaths are all pretty rough. Now your spawns are staggered, which means any hope of holding second is definitely gone now, and they're moving pretty slow, thankfully, but they could go last. They really shouldn't be stacking. Even that, like, you see how they all stacked point, even just for a few seconds. That whole time that they delayed on mid for a little bit, delayed capping here, they should already be in lobby killing your guys' gun. And starting to, like, spam and stuff like that as they get Uber. They're pretty slow on it, but, you know, we're not going to complain for them. But that's just something to point out for you guys not to do as well, is there's no point stacking second. There's nothing to deny. Alright, they get a lot of cap time for free. The gun doesn't cover point, which could be part of that, but it's not often that the gun does cover point. Most of the time it won't. So your soldiers and demo just weren't prepared for the cap time, I guess. The bomb came really late. Their scout might have been able to cap if he stayed on it. And yeah, this is gonna be brutal to hold with that, like, literally a millisecond of cap time. So the last hold started off fine. I don't think the gun not covering point's a big deal. Just your explosive classes weren't ready. Actually, I'm curious. I'm gonna go back. I want to see what the buffs are looking like in the positioning. There's definitely plenty of time.
The control point is being contested. Time has been added.
So, no real buffs on your soldiers, unfortunately. So really only your demo's buffed, because your sniper's going to switch off. So pretty much no buffs on the team is already going to make this hold hard. Only 4 stickies on the point. I'm not sure where the other 4 are. I guess on top left. So yeah, the stickies aren't blocking the cap. The gun's not blocking the cap. One of your soldiers is jumping away, and the other soldier's in spawn. So there is 0 point holding happening here. So that's why they get so much cap time. No one's in position. And by that time, once they get that much cap time, it's pretty much over. Because you'll have to sell out a bunch of people to stand on the point, and they can just do what we talked about on your guys' last push, which is just stand back and spam and kill everything. So definitely need the priority of getting buffs ASAP, and do your best to keep the buffs once you've got them, not stand in like spam locations and that kind of stuff. You gotta try to find that line of where you can pressure a choke and spam and apply damage without taking it yourself and removing your own buff. I'm gonna go back again and check your guys' rollout.
Our control point is being captured.
So your roamer is showing up to mid without a buff. Because you're doing like a pseudo fast rollout. You're like skipping across a choke, but then you're waddling after. I think if you just stay on pace with your combo, like just keep up with the scouts and medic, you can have a buff. Because if we watch, your mid, the extra speed you're getting, if we want to call it that these jumps are providing, isn't really being used. You're not going for like a super fast bomb or like trying to like fly through choke into their cafe or anything. You're doing like a half fast rollout to get to choke super fast, and then you play slow and go to normal positioning. So I don't see a difference between doing all that versus just keeping up with your combo and doing the same exact thing that you're doing, but that way you have like 240, 250 health, which can be significant when, if you guys decide to bomb and stuff like that. So small thing, but I think it's important. I think your demo also needs to get this arrow. Arrow gets missed, which is unfortunate. Another arrow miss.
Oh yeah, I remember this mid.
Yeah. See, you guys are showing up to mid on a health deficit. Like you're showing up already more hurt than their team. So you're starting the game off at a disadvantage. So that's one thing that's a super easy fix. And this mid's kind of broken because your scout got into a fight on the floor. No one came to help. And by help, I don't necessarily mean you need 4 players to drop on the floor to help that fight. That could be pretty bad too. But from your soldier's perspective, for example, if your scout's calling, which I assume he is, maybe he's not, maybe he's silent, but if he's kind of like, scout on the floor fighting me, I would hope, both you guys as soldiers are like, let's double bomb. They've got at most 1 scout with their medic. Can't kill both of us. we're probably gonna get that med, you know. And then at the very least, if you lose the mid, you guys can leave and have ad. You know what I mean? But this whole fight happens on the floor, and no one really reacts. Everyone just sits around and spams. So your whole mid is hinging on this scout MGE on the floor, and your scout lost. So, but their soldier also came to help. You can see, like, even though he wasn't really needed, he did show up, and looks like their other scout did as well. So they at least attempted to help, and you guys didn't. And maybe that's because your demo was too weak, but other players were healthy. But yeah, it's a bit strange that both soldiers are just kind of like taking the Tetris and just spamming, because you're not really getting a lot of value. I don't see any significant damage that's been done. So the question is, like, are you waiting for your scouts to make a call to bomb? Are you waiting on your demo to get damage before you bomb? You know, what's the wait for? You know, because the spam rockets probably aren't going to create that opening on their own. There needs to be a little something extra added to the mix. Finally, the bomb comes out, but your other soldier's not in it, so unfortunately he's going to live with 30 HP. Maybe your other soldier gets in. Interesting surf. I'm not sure how you surf like that. That was weird, like off someone's head or something, but their medic lives, unfortunately, with barely any health. And now this sell from your demo is pretty bad. This is way too late. Even the trade's not good. Blue team's happy with that. So, does that make sense? Like what I'm saying with the mid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to pull one of their scouts away. So, like, I mean, I think it's unfortunate. I got screwed over, but I was trying to draw their scouts away so, like, we had, like, a better left mid, because we wanted to meet them, that mid.
Why would they want to go after you? If you're just standing on Tetris spamming, what's the threat?
Well,
You know, if I'm a scout and I see you there spamming, I'm probably just going to ignore you.
yeah, so I can just double ball with my soldier.
Yeah. I mean,
I was-
that could be good. If they ignore you, you can bomb, but
Yeah.
bomb never happened.
I think
So
my
that's
action
kinda my question
was
is,
just
like,
stalled
when
by
was-
the double arrow miss that I noticed. Like, so my action was stalled when it shouldn't have been.
Yeah. Okay. It can be good to, like, you know, like what you were saying, to kind of take a flank position and be like, enemy team has a choice. They either stare at me, and like you're saying, you pull scouts away and your combo side's a little easier, or they ignore you and you get a good bomb. But my point was the bomb never happened, even when your other soldier did finally bomb. So the setup was there, but the execution just never
The control point is
occurred.
being captured.
So might need to revisit the timing and what you guys as a team want to look for there. All right. So again, we're on last, and the spawn timing wasn't as good as last time. We didn't have quite as much time to set up, but where's the gun? On the box. Okay. We had a time for level 2. If we have time for level 2, we have time for buffs. But look at your guys' health. NG's hurt, but he's gonna switch off, doesn't really matter. Both soldiers, no buff. Once again, only Demo buffed this time. You got a scout buffed as well, but both your soldiers are starting hurt every last hold. That's gonna make every last hold brutal. Also, no stickies on the point. The plus side from last time is the gun does cover the point, but that's not gonna be enough. They'll kill the gun pretty quick. So what's making this difficult is just traps aren't really there, and then your soldiers are hurt to start. You never want your soldiers starting a last push in spawn. That's like the worst case scenario, other than being dead. So gun goes down instantly. Your demo's in position to spam, but they never got forced because your soldiers were in spawn. So they're just now Ubering. Obviously catches your scout by surprise. Probably shouldn't have, because I would assume there was no call that they used. You know they have Uber, but still probably weren't expecting like the pop to be that deep. And this is probably around. Your scout's probably dead, your demo's probably dead, and at least one soldier's gonna die. So it's gonna be soldier heavy versus their whole team basically. Unless someone makes an absolute miracle play.
Control point is being captured.
Or blue team could also beef. That also works. They could repush though. If you lose players in lobby like this, they can just come right back in. 3v3 with heals. So we're now in ulti trio. but we also lose a player. But you're getting spawned, so okay. It'll reset. I would not push out. I know you guys have ad, but it's only 30 ad. By the time you guys are ready, you're gonna be down a player, and they've got cap time. So you should assume if you push out, there's gonna be some kind of flank shove attempt. It doesn't mean they'll actually go for it, but they're at least gonna threaten it and like poke it and see like, can I get through? And you know, you have a choice as a caller, like, do I trust my spawner soldier to take care of it? Can you win a 1v1 if with half cap time? What if it's a 1v2? All this kind of stuff. It feels really messy, so I'd probably just be like, thank God we held. Good miracle hold, guys. Let's reset, get the gun up, and relax. Because that was a pretty stressful moment. So it looks like your guys' last hold, the big thing is your soldiers aren't buffed and in position, and your demo's not quite trapping point. So that's making this difficult. Okay. I like the small Uber ad into lobby, but now it's getting weird. This is bad now. You gotta run. Yep. Players causing mayhem.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
A lot of chaos fights just everywhere. Everyone's fighting everywhere. But you guys come out on top. It's aggressive. Like, it's a good heads up call. Like, we've got small ad there in lobby. And you saw how quickly they got Uber. You know, the counter pop was pretty quick. So I'm not going to say don't do that. It's a calculated risk kind of thing. But there is always this chance that the ad's not as big as you think it is, and it turns into a messy exchange, and if you lose that, it's over, obviously. So, but you guys want it with ad as well, so. All right, last time we were in this type of position, we got sniped. So, okay, now we know for sure there's a sniper again. So, this would be a great time for your soldier, like, you know, for you to be like, yo, I'm in Valley, I can bomb, call me in. And then when you guys are pressuring, being like, bomb out of Valley now, bomb their sniper. So that as you guys are pushing through, like, your soldier's landing on their sniper and he can't get shots off and that kind of stuff. So, we're looking for that type of coordination if we want to make that type of push. Looks like you guys call the push off, which is another option, but you have 50 ads still, basically, so this is a super long rotation. I guess it's fine because you guys are only just now getting Uber. So it's not like you guys are wasting ad or anything. But they should have seen you. I'm pretty sure they did because they can see the cross through choke, so we'll see what this Uber gets. No jump, late jump. Almost catch a soldier. Almost catch two soldiers. Get one of them. So would you guys pressure second off of a soldier pick knowing they have a sniper? Or would you be content to just sit on mid?
I think that's what we. Oh, I think that's what we did. I think that's what we did.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious because I think a more aggressive team would be willing to pressure this and try and get the force, because once that sniper takes his first shot, he doesn't really have much going for him as long as you don't peek your medic. So they're basically down 2 for that force attempt. But it can be dangerous. What you could also do, an alternative, is since you know they have a sniper, when they take their Uber in, or whether they pop or not, when they're like getting close to the door, let's say they go Valley and they're like in this kind of area, shove the flank, because they're down a flank player from the sniper. So you can like send both your soldiers and a scout, just shove the flank and go behind, and it's going to be very difficult for them to deal with that with the sniper. And if the sniper's on the flank, he might just die. Their flank players might just both die because they can't win that 3v2 with a sniper. And then it's even worse if they pop in after that, they just lose because you'll get the backup and go last. But what's most likely to happen is they'll have to go back to fight your flank shove, and then you can obviously chase them with your combo. Keep them at arm's distance, obviously. You don't want to get caught by their Uber if they turn around, but you can get the force that way as well. So flank shoving when they're pushing ad with a sniper is a very good option. It's tough for them to deal with. Okay. Looks like we are setting up some kind of flank play. Combo's there now. Oh, we're just standing in the sight line. Dangerous. A big bomb from your soldier. Takes care of the sniper. Your soldier goes behind, scout goes behind. You get their demo pick. This looks like this should be a round for you guys. We lose that fight. Couldn't tell if that was a 2v1 or 2v2. But that worked out. I mean, that was kind of what I was talking about. We've got Big Ad now. Sniper's gone, so we just wait for our spawners, get buffs on everyone. Probably don't need to be sitting so far back. At least your soldier should go forward and like spot where they are. Probably don't want your scout to go alone, but just like peek choke and be like, we can just walk through. There's nothing here. Nothing holding. No need to use Uber. Some flank players caught. Oh, don't let that be a 1v1. Okay, thank goodness. But now you guys aren't capping. We use?
Control point is being captured.
Okay, I missed that Uber. I'm not sure what happened. Hopefully we got fours, because that we're chasing in a lobby with Uber like that. It's not ideal. For... Okay. A lot more flank mayhem happening. Yeah, I like what your scout was doing here, of like kind of poking the last cap, like not necessarily going for it, just like threatening it, but your combo's out. Your combo's not even here, so he's just being completely left to dry by your combo. So yeah, just too passive, you know? It's like, yes, we don't want to be caught by the Uber, of course, but if we're so far away like that, then there's no point for your scout pressuring. Can't do both. You gotta toe that line between when we're actually caught versus in position to leave.
Time has been added.
So we gave up second basically for free. Hopefully we don't do that to mid as well. You guys are super far back. Like there's nothing stopping them from walking in. And you're at 76%, so the Uber threat's not that scary anymore. As long as your medic's not deep, you know, you guys can stay on mid to fight. But it's like everyone, like spam from back here is going to do 0 damage. Your demo probably afford to play a little closer. Again, if they pop, you can just sticky jump out. You shouldn't get caught. Your other soldier is like in position for some kind of bomb, but it's very obvious they're going to spot it. And, you know, it's fine to do that, but without any pressure from you guys, they can just solo kill him and be happy. So both your scouts are on the other side of the map. So like, look, here comes this bomb. And he's dead. So it's like there's just nothing backing this up. And even though you guys are playing so far back, you might die anyways. So very scared, I would say. It looks scared. And now we're trying to fight in the mid down player. They don't have cap, so it could be good. Our spawns are faster. We just need to not lose anyone by accident. But Armed pays for it. Scout pays for it. Yeah, this is going to be probably a round. So if you're going to take that kind of Uber, you got to get the force on them pretty much right away. They held on to their Uber for a long time, so they're just way too far out. Maybe you guys could have milked more coming in. Or just not go for an aggressive Uber when you're down players, I'm not sure. But very, very, very risky. Now we're staggering again. So yeah, that's going to be a round. Should be a round, unless they massively misplay by stacking the point again. It's a big pet peeve of mine. Sniper? I don't know about that. No time for sniper. So yeah, it seems like the rounds that you guys have lost so far have been from one way or another. You guys are taking very risky plays. And when it works, it's great. But when it doesn't, it basically sends you back to last. and then your last holds are never set up. I don't think I've seen a last hold yet where you guys are set up with your off classes and everyone's buffed. You know, it's either been sometimes you've got a sentry gun up, never buffs. I mean, on that hold, we didn't even get set up. We didn't get the chance because we basically wiped on our second. So so far, every time they've gotten the chance to push last with ad, they've won. Besides that one hold in the beginning. Maybe there's another hold, but even those were like kind of down to the wire. They weren't very clean holds. They were kind of coin flippy, and you guys managed to win it out. But basically, every time they've gotten a chance to push last with the ad, it's been a very scary position. So I think you guys definitely need to chill on some of the riskier plays, and not go for quite so many of them. And then also, when you guys are on last, like being very adamant about like getting the players buffed, getting the gun up, getting the point trapped, all that kind of stuff. Just the basics, because those are missing right now. All right, first mid we went left, worked out, got a soldier kill, pummeled them. Second mid we went left, didn't work out, we got separated, wiped. Third mid we went left, tons of damage on our demo, lost a scout under point, kind of got beat up. So we're going left again. So hopefully by this point, you guys have made some adjustments, talking about what we're going to change. I'd like to see a bomb at some point, probably, because I don't think you guys have bombed yet on the mids. So again, showing up to mid hurt. Already half HP. The mid's just started and already half HP, so could definitely fix that. You're probably dead as well. So, you know, again, it's not a thing I'm not like trying to pick on you or anything. It's just, you know, you're showing up to mid hurt, maybe getting 50, 60, 70 damage off its spam rockets, and then you're dead. So you're contributing sub 100 damage to the mid fight. So that you definitely want to be in a mindset of like, whatever my mid plan is, even if I end up dying, I at least want to try to go damage positive, or if I don't go damage positive, set someone else up to do something, you know? So it's like, even if I'm not the one doing the damage, at least someone else is like, I'm setting someone else up to kind of do my damage as well, if that makes sense. Maybe like your other soldier gets a mega nuke because you set him up well, or whatever, that kind of stuff. So 4v4 meta's hurt, definitely not over yet, but there's going to be at some point some kind of decisive moment, and this looks like this will be it. Your soldier's bombing and there's a scout isolated. So if your soldier commits here, he's dead. And your combo has a choice. Do we kill the isolated scout and then it's just a 3v3? Or do we attempt to follow up on our soldier on what he does? I imagine you guys will shoot the scout. He doesn't actually commit, but he's very hurt for it. So we need that arrow ASAP. Gets it? The scout is still alive, just shooting our combo. Finally dies. Okay. You guys have won the mid. You guys have won. You have the damage, you have the numbers. They've got spawners that are on the way, but you will soon. You can either chase this demo, you know, and chase kills and stuff, or just chill out. You probably want to chill out. They still have a scout as well. But yeah, it looks like you'll clean that up. So don't chase their mid. It's not worth it. Don't die and choke. Oh. Okay, lucky. Alright. We would love to go for some kind of sack attempt while their scouts are dead. No scouts. Double bomb. Let's go. Nice. A little scary, but we got it. Big force. Spot where they're going. Where are they chasing? You can either take this Uber into them valley or ignore them and hunt for flank kills. Either way is good. Just don't do nothing. That's the worst thing. Leaving is also an option, but oh no. we gotta pick something and stick with it. We can't leave and then decide, oh, let's come back in and then get forced by a bomb. So this is probably the worst case scenario. We don't even get any kills with it either. and there's a scout behind who might kill somebody.
Alert. The control point is being
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't have context of the comms, obviously. I don't know what the situation is, but
I recall
64?
I did call that double bomb because both scouts were dead, but then I died, so I probably didn't have vision on what happened next.
Well, it was you guys double bombed all your scouts were dead for the force, which was great. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Then it was 6v4, and you guys chose to run away into cafe. But then it looked like you guys changed your mind and tried to come back in and got super nuked and got forced and didn't get any kills and everyone died. It was really bad.
I think we
So-
wanted to leave and play with spawns for the Uber and contest mid, but then I think
Yeah.
our mid got forced because they stood in the cafe door.
But it wasn't just him. Everyone stood in the cafe door. If he didn't pop, your demo was dead and
Well,
your soldier might have
it
died.
looked
still.
like it looked like a root popped because we were going to lose Nico,
Yeah, no, the pop was fine.
which I think is a valid pop.
the,
but-
the pop was the pop was the best decision in a worst case scenario. There's nothing good there, because if he doesn't pop, everyone dies, and he's getting forced anyways because everyone chases him. By popping, he's at least saving lives, but the point of that is to run. Like that's still like a super bad position. It's like fuck, we got to use to get the fuck out. Like run. But instead we pushed in because we tried to salvage our Uber, but it was unsalvageable, and that's what got everyone killed. But it shouldn't have been that situation in the first place. We shouldn't have been all clumped up in the cafe door because 4v6 with Uber, I don't think you should run from that. I mean, you could. It's a valid option. I think there's 3 decent options. 2 are really good, 1's not so good, but all 3 are playable. Either one you leave and play with your spawners. I think that's the worst of the 3, but it's okay. It's not like growing. It's perfectly fine. You'll have had to push mid again with TF2 moves on. The other 2 options are when you're running away from their combo slide like you were, quickly rotate to go kill their flank. Almost like you're doing a flank shove. Because you're going to find their flank players alone without their combo. You're not afraid of losing that fight because even if you beef, you have Uber. And chances are you'll just mow through their flank and bad things are going to happen for their combo. You can go behind if they stay to mid, all this kind of stuff. Or you bait them to chase you, and when their combo comes forward, you pop around the corner and kill them with your Uber. Kind of ignoring their flank. You know, either of those 2 options probably works out really well for you guys. But if you don't want to mess with that, maybe it's like stressful, high intensity match, you know, tensions are high, you just want to leave, reset with spawners, that's okay too. I don't have a problem with that. But my issue was just we left and then we changed our minds. You guys were out and then you came back in. That's where the nuke happened. So you just got to stick to whatever it is you guys decide on and not get greedy because it's like you guys are putting yourselves in pretty good positions where it's like we've got ad, we just need to, you know, play simple TF2 and kind of stuff. And then you guys are kind of shooting yourselves in both feet. And it's not really that blue team's like crushing you guys. They're not doing anything special. They're just kind of taking the gifts that are given to them. So. And then you guys stagger your deaths a lot. Every time you guys lose a fight, there's always someone that dies like 10 seconds late trying to salvage. I think you guys should cut that out. It's putting you guys, every time you guys lose a fight, you're denying yourselves the chance to even attempt to hold the next point because you're just always down players. Because it's not even that much disset. It's 20 disset here. You just don't have the players to hold. Still managed to get their med though. But can't stay because they've got so much damage. Get your spawns, get buffed, fight 2. That's all we can do here. Nothing fancy. Okay, we lose a soldier, that probably calls it off. We'll still have an Uber to take, but we gotta wait. So we're gonna take this Uber. We need to make sure we spot everyone. They have a spawner. We killed a soldier, so, or rather, it was their medic, I guess. So the chance of them off-classing their medic to spy for backup is pretty low, but you want to keep that in the back of your mind anyway. Just make sure you spot 6 players. We've seen both scouts. 1 soldier's been spotted dungeon, so we know where 3 are. Our scouts through the flank side. Soldiers through. We're getting through. Okay. Dungeon shove is happening, but someone's there. This is getting messy. We end up using pretty late, but we're getting killed, so it doesn't matter. Flank shield gets covered. So okay, a little bit chaotic, but nothing objectively wrong with what you guys did here. Just got to be careful with chaotic pushes out of last. Nice. Okay. Good kill in their med. Either a force or a kill. We're happy with either. A 9% death. Now everyone needs to live. You're not going to get mid. Be okay with that. Recognize that your health is bad enough that even without their medic, they will kill you guys if you stay. Because you're down damage compared to them. You have less DPS. And it's not like you guys are all fully buffed. If you guys are all fully buffed, you probably stay. But you're hurt. So you're probably going to lose your scout. Demo should run, scout should run, soldier should try to jump out valley, reheal, all that kind of stuff. Staying here is super greedy. And your medic is probably dead. So we get a med kill, which is nice, but we wipe. And then we also stagger again as well. Well, maybe not. We do. So same kind of pattern.
The control point is being contested.
I was saying earlier, but the pattern I've noticed so far is it's not like you guys don't know what to do. Like, you guys are very clearly understanding of the flow of the game, what you want to accomplish, you know, and a lot of the time you do it successfully. We just saw, like, you go on to mid, you know they have ad, you go for the medic, you get the kill. But then whenever you succeed in whatever it is you're trying to do there, I'm not sure if it's greedy or just not quite understanding the threat of the situation. But whenever you guys succeed in that kind of goal, whatever it is you're going for, you always try to take more. And it always punishes you guys. And then after that punishment has happened, like, oh, we've lost, there's always late deaths after, where you guys stagger your deaths and just quickly snowballs out of control. And situations go from, nice, we've killed their medic, let's back out, let's reheal, we've got ad, to all of a sudden we've wiped, and now we're on last on disad in like an instant. And it's mostly from decisions you guys are making as a team, not the enemy team making crazy plays and stuff, which should feel good, because that means, you know, it's not like you've got some impossible mountain to climb to beat these guys. It's just personal stuff that you guys as a team have to work on, which in my opinion is a lot easier to do than having to grind NGE for a billion hours. That's the pattern I've noticed so far. Thankfully, it's not disad. Their medic spawned alone and did not heal for a while, so it's going to be evens. You guys probably don't know that, but you know it's close enough that it's worth building at least. Or maybe you do. So, getting our gun up, building, spotting lobby, just be careful. I like sometimes playing a soldier down here as well. Just a spot like that, just see like, okay, they're coming lobby, which you do see. Alright. Oh, it's crits. Interesting. I didn't even notice. That's funny, that was even with them coming up crits. Kind of a strange play out of them. They should have realized it was evens. And the crits wouldn't have been that good. There's nothing to push out for here. You're leaving an NG on last, so you're down a player. They have a heavy. Oh, you even brought the NG out of last. Okay. So this is probably another round for them, assuming they get aggressive. 'Cause you have to keep in mind, you guys popped on last and didn't get that many kills. Maybe not as many as we would have liked. So they have ad. They're on crits. They've got ad. So the longer this fight goes on, the closer it's getting to where they're going to pop crits. And they've got a heavy, which means if you're leaving people on last, or you've got like an NG kind of stuff, that's a lot of your damage gone trying to push into this 450 slab of meat. So you need a very decisive push to like crush them, or you just need to leave and be ready for the crits. You don't want to fight to drag out here. And now that you're down 2, it's definitely like we cannot. Like, you guys are down 2 and you're staying. Why? What are we playing for? I don't see any advantage here whatsoever. So, the second you lose players in a fight like that, you've got to immediately be leading. They don't even need crits now. But they'll have it. Yeah. So, same exact pattern. They went for a crits play, didn't work out. You guys get the counter pop. You got some decent kills. Probably worth poking second off of it. But the second you like lost a player and noticed they had a heavy, probably killing that push. Cancel it, go back to last reset. Be ready for that crits. But we're trying to continue fights where we're down players on our second. It's like super psycho. I would assume you guys just aren't noticing that you're down players in those fights. I would hope you guys aren't realizing like, oh, we're down 4v6. Let's keep fighting. There better be like super damage calls for that to ever be warranted. Your soldier's like, I did 5,000 damage to everyone. Fight, you know. If you're not getting those kind of calls, then hopefully we're just not noticing how dire it is. Good time to pause. Down a couple of rounds, talk about some stuff.
It was their pause, unfortunately.
Well, it works out. This would be a good time for you guys to pause, even if they didn't. I'm guessing they had a tech issue or something, because I don't... Or they just want to talk about their own stuff.
No, there aren't. They're all just the same, with different costumes.
Okay. This time we've got an actual fast rollout into their cafe. That's a good time to sacrifice the health, because you're using that health to do something. So you guys should definitely use this. Don't let your soldiers fast rollout, be in vain. You notice like this guy's going cafe to chase your soldier. Hunt this guy down. Your scouts should beeline for this guy. Take this fight. Help your soldier. Don't jump backwards. Go help. Why? It's like, yeah, nice fast rollout, but I'm gonna stand over here. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. All right, this mid's over. Run. No more staggers. Run. You guys are super caught, but at least try to get out. Nice. Your soldier's caught. It's fun. Demo's caught. Not as fun. Where's your medic? Oh. Okay. They have not capped second yet, so there's no rush to get out of spawn, but you can't stay in spawn forever because you'll let them set up a spawn camp and it's over. So you don't want to leave spawn early and like dive bomb as if they're about to cap last, because you've got time. You don't want to stay in there forever because they'll put you in a box. So at least take your time to get buffs and stuff, and then take the path of least resistance and get out of there. Sniper is not the pick here. You're in spawn. They're spamming you spawn camping. We need meat getting out there. Heavy, pyro, or something. The headshot's nice. Maybe it'll result in a kill. So that's good. I'm not sure why they left, to be honest. Maybe the sniper's just that scary. I don't know. If you're playing a team that runs away to sniper, then I guess I'm wrong. By all means, go sniper. But they definitely could have stayed. But anyways. Okay. I think you guys could do with communicating more. I don't have the comms, so I don't know for sure, but I can just tell watching it that you guys don't time things with each other very well. So like your soldier that died in lobby, he's pretty ahead of everyone, and because that was kind of solo killed, that shouldn't really be possible if you guys are talking to each other. A good interaction habit for your soldiers to have, and some people might consider this micro. I don't consider it to be micro. I consider it good communication. Is tell your combo when you're able to do something. So that means like if I'm that soldier, let's say I'm on right side, over with your other soldier, being like telling your combo scout or whoever's in charge of the combo at the time, I'm ready to take lobby. Let me know. And that way, when your combo goes, okay, we're going now, then you go in. And you guys are on the same time, and no one's caught out. All that kind of stuff. And I feel like that communication is not happening because people are dying alone and caught out a lot. Yeah, they're taking an Uber? What is this? No, they're setting up a cycling. Okay, break through the right side. Sniper's pretty good for this situation. Nice soldier pick. We've got the sniper, so we probably don't want to send a soldier. We probably just want to try and get our sniper a shot, but he gets nuked, no one's in position. Looks like we're not going for anything. We can just reset. Oh, but we die anyways. So that's a late death. It's okay to not go for anything if the timing's not there. Like if people are too hurt or not in position or whatever, don't feel bad by letting a counter-sec attempt go. It's worse, in my opinion, to try to force a bad counter-sack than just keep your players alive and hold. It's already a pretty low % chance of working out in the first place, so we want that to be as good as it possibly can be. Not having to rush and all that kind of stuff. Since our spawner's late, right side is... I mean, they're playing this well. They know, like, they've got a soldier pick, so they want to try to work the side that your soldier is dead on. So maybe you guys could notice that and be like, look, we're down a soldier. They're going to try to spam our gun from right side because they know that's where our soldier is. Let's switch our soldiers in our demo. Then your demo is holding the door that's most likely to be spammed, and your soldier's holding top left. You know, all that kind of stuff. Could be an option. You'd have to do that early, though, before they get there. But looks like your soldier and sniper hold it anyways. Okay, your demo does come over, so that's good. And you can see, like, your demo's just working them. Oh, but he dies for it. So if you're going to do that, you probably want to be tanked by your med, and probably don't want to jump to half health over. Interesting solo kill on the scout. So, okay. Unfortunately, it's the same kind of thing. Like, we've got deaths, so we can't really push out. So we just chill. Don't want to force any bad counter sacks. We probably want to play a little less risky though. Like we're losing our demo, we're almost losing our sniper. Things like that start happening, then it's like all of a sudden we're down 2 or 3. Oh shit, you know. Down our soldier. We're worried about spy. Do you guys spy check at all?
I think we just did. Yeah.
You should know there's no spy then. So.
Someone called a bump, and they sounded pretty certain, so I switched off.
Gotcha. That's fine then. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, it can be a pretty good habit when you've got picks. If you got picks and you're not going for a counter sack, that's a good time for whichever scout's non-NG to like off-class check and just see like if they're coming up sniper or spy or something. Just give your team an early heads up. Because, like, where your medic is standing right now, you've got no one covering that right side door. Their sniper could peek and, in theory, get this headshot here. So this is a pretty scary place to stand against when we don't know they have a sniper. All he needs is to get here, you know,
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
and your med's dead. Okay, you know now, because you spammed them. So you probably want to move the sniper forward, or you want to move your medic forward up here. You guys ever do that, like against a sniper player medic close?
I don't think we do.
We do it occasionally, but we should probably do it more, or make that the default.
All right, a lot of good kills. Probably worth pushing out. If you guys were crushing the mids, maybe you could argue it's better for the reset. But
Oh,
you guys have
this
been
one
losing
is
most of the mids, so-
heartbreaking.
You guys are
We lose the
yeah.
6v3.
Well, it's not a 6v3. It's a 1v3 because your demo is alone. Now it's another 1v3. 2v3. No, this is a 1v3. Your scout's not quite in. So it's a 1v3, then a 1v3, a 1v1 over there, and now it's 1v3. So there is no 6v3. You guys were 1-1-1. So it's only a 6v3 if you guys go together, and you're not. So, like I said earlier, you guys have got to communicate this better. Because obviously the call's there, like, let's go fight 2. And everyone's like, sounds good, let's do it. But then everyone just goes in YOLO. No attempt to coordinate the timings or anything. Just, I'm in, where are you guys? Oh, I'm dead. You know, so. From the blue team's perspective, it almost looks silly because they're expecting, you know, to fight 6 players and it's just a demo. And it's just a soldier. Scout rolls out, oh, there's just a scout. It doesn't seem right from their perspective. All right, obviously I'm cheating because I know this is the last round, the logs and stuff, but definitely at this point, especially it being a match, you guys are probably under pressure. Probably a little bit of disappointment of, you know, as much as you want to try to deny it, there's always that little voice of like, we're going to lose, down 4-1. But especially since it didn't happen earlier, now is definitely a good time for you guys to pause. And even if, let's just say, like, I don't know what seed blue team is. You said they were a higher seed. Let's say they're like the best team in main, right? I don't know if they are, but let's just say they are. And you guys are pretty certain you're going to lose. You know, like it's like maybe there's a small chance we bring it back, but everyone's kind of accepting defeat at this point. At the very least, since, you know, this isn't playoffs, at the very least, what you guys should probably do to maximize your kind of team efficiency is be like, look, we're struggling. This is what you say during the pause. We're struggling. We're not, you know, doing as well as maybe we'd like. Let's make this next round, or if we get a few rounds, good. And let's just treat this now like a scrim. You know, like let's let the pressure go and treat it like a scrim. And, you know, once everyone kind of accepts that and lets that pressure kind of to perform go and be like, okay, what's messing us up here? What's a big mistake we're having? And just try to workshop something. And maybe that's enough. Maybe you guys talk about 1 or 2 things in the pause, and that's enough to start getting rounds back. And suddenly it's a little more competitive. And if not, and you guys end up still losing, then at least it wasn't, you know, like we're not wasting our time in a lost match. You know what I mean? We're still trying to do something productive. Because this is, you know, a back against the wall kind of situation. And if there's ever any hope of winning, you want to grab that 1% chance, you at least have to do that. It won't happen by accident. Okay, so our first right side mid, I think. Pretty sure it's our first right side mid. You got a soldier on the floor. So whenever you're playing a soldier on the floor, you probably want to initiate some kind of high bomb from your other soldier so that their scouts will like look up, and then your low side soldier can do a low bomb and get on people without being denied. Fortunately, it looks like you're about to get shot in the back. You know these players are coming. Although he also doesn't know you're there, so it works out, I guess. Okay, you get their medic, so they're about to all in. And from your combo scout's perspective, also your medic, you should be thinking, where's their other soldier? You haven't seen him. So hopefully we're not tunnel visioned on the people right in front of us. We gotta be aware of our surroundings and recognize this is the guy that's gonna ruin our night. So he and the scout are able to slip through and get the med. Second that, you guys should still win the mid. Second that med dies, you guys should be like, oh shit, you know, not necessarily leave completely, but at least back up to a safe place to where you can keep everyone in front of you and not get kind of blindsided from flanks and stuff. At least, you know,
Control point is being captured.
you guys win the mid anyway. We don't want to die in lobby though. That would be rough. Oh, we're gonna lose everyone. What? Okay. So again, I think it's greed. I'm not gonna repeat the same stuff I said earlier, but yeah, just the same thing. You guys are fine here. You guys are, you know, even Ubers, but we're just trying to take so much. And we're getting caught and dying for it all the time.
Alert. Our control
We
point.
better not lose anyone else. No! Alright. If the trend continues, your medic and soldier should die on second here.
Time has been
So that's the pattern. Alright, this is a pretty crazy fight from them. They're just flooding everything. Oh, we died 99% payback from them from earlier. Wow. Okay. Still going down to the wire.
alert. The control point is being captured.
So, not too sure what happened here. You guys got the forward spawns, but I guess the chokes weren't locked down quick enough. They were able to kind of flood everything. Seemed like they caught at least one player over here by surprise. Someone died quick. Either your soldier or scout, I can't remember which. And they have a sniper now. Oh, we got shit talk. Good. Alright. Even Ubers, though. We're chilling. Nothing crazy. We know they have a sniper, so... This also could be a good time where it's like what I talked about earlier on the mid. It's like when they send their sack play and they like bomb your mid or whatever, that can be a good time to shove the flank. Flank shoves are very good against the sniper. Very hard for them to deal with. Alright. 2 minutes left in the demo, so... Okay, we pop. I don't think that's a bad pop. Because your medic clearly saw their sniper in sight line. And, you know, if you're a medic, you've got a choice there. You either respect and pop, or you disrespect and risk the drop. And every medic will probably play that. You know, they'll pick something different. Some medics will disrespect, some won't. Bottom line is, though, that sniper should never be able to peek that deep for free like that when you've got all of your players alive. It's almost ludicrous that he's able to walk through Cafe and round the corner to get a shot off in the first place when you guys already know they have a sniper as well. So it kind of feels like, at least at this moment, maybe it's because we're kind of towards the end of the match, we're down so many rounds, but it kind of feels like asleep at the wheel. We've got 2 soldiers, 2 scouts in a demo, and their sniper is able to walk in and get a shot to where potentially he could drop our medic. It just shouldn't be possible. We're like actively spamming our doors and peeking and getting info and this kind of stuff. It shouldn't be possible. So I don't blame your medic for that at all. Your medic's gonna die, but this fight's not over. Going for the medic is not the play though. Post Uber, this is a good rule of thumb. Post Uber, especially post exchange, medic is the least valuable target. I know it's muscle memory habit to be like, I'm going for the medic, med down. But when Uber's not in the equation, medic is probably the worst class in the fight. Outside of hitting a couple of god arrows, beam healing is actually pretty low healing per second. And if you guys are focus firing properly, you'll always out DPS any healing a medic can do. So it's always in your best interest to kill the damage classes. If you get like post exchange 1 or 2 damage classes real quick killed, their medic will die at the end of it. But an easy way to lose these fights is losing your own life trying to kill their medic. Because even if you do kill their medic by dying on a damage class, you know, guess what? You're giving the rest of their damage classes an easier fight to win because they have less DPS, classes to fight against. So it's, rule of thumb, post Uber, ignore the medic. Not important. If he's right there and there's no one else around you, sure, take the kill. Don't take it so extreme where you just walk away from him, but don't go out of your way to go for the medic.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
But this is probably the match. I don't think this is holdable on last. Maybe it is. You get a scout med, and they're pretty slow. So
Time has
we'll get a last hold. We're gonna need everything here. We're gonna need the off classes, traps on point. Oh, there's walking in. Okay. So I guess you guys didn't expect them to push this quickly. I'm not sure. Maybe you thought they would wait for Uber. But this rotation, the second it's spotted that like they're coming right side as they're running the corner, which I think your soldier saw. Your demo should be coming over to help. And everyone else should be coming over to help. Because they don't have Uber yet. It's not a super big threat here. Okay. We held them off, but Uber's still a threat. We can't forget about that. So we shouldn't be going for plays here. We need to be getting our gun up, get our soldiers buff, traps on the point kind of stuff. They do have a sniper, and we should know that. We saw him peek. So we should think like, at least a roamer should think a good call for you to make would be like, yeah, I'm not going to bomb point when they start capping. Pocket soldier, I'll let you do that. When they pop in, I'm going to flank and go for their sniper. That can be good. And as long as your team's able to hold them off for the length of the Uber, you'll probably get a pick and be able to come back in from behind. So that's always a good idea to look for. But you can't have everyone do that, so hopefully that's coordinated. Okay, they're coming dungeon. We see it. One of our soldiers is not buffed. Our demo's caught. No traps on the point. That's probably GG. Our scout's also flanking lobby. Okay, you don't lose right away. You get some good picks, but look at that cap time. That's the consequence of the traps on point thing. So close too. Like, I think you guys could have held this. Nice pipes. But I don't think it'll be enough. I think they win this. If their medic actually just walked on point there, they would have won. Isdom was allowed to live way too long. God, this is just a meat grinder. Jesus. This is actually trading down to the last man. Okay, finally, it's over. Okay. So, big lessons. We talked about a lot of stuff, but what's the big takeaways? The big takeaways are, you guys are... I'll start with the simplest fixes. Number one, you guys need to stop salvaging so late. Almost every fight that you guys were losing or that your medic died and that you guys lost, like you guys were out, people sacked back in super late. And all it did every time was just stagger your spawns and make it impossible to even attempt to hold the next point. So we're staggering our spawns way too much. I'm not saying don't salvage, but it's got to be like quick. Like our med's dead, boom, we're salvaging. And if you're not in position to do it, don't go. Unless that medic is 10 HP out in the open, it's not worth it. You're going to die. And even if you do salvage and like trade out for a damage class, they're going to be okay with that. That's not any problem for them. That's going to make their jobs easier, actually, to keep rolling. So that's a super easy fix on that one. Second thing, easy fix on your last holds. I don't think we saw a single last hold besides the stalemate one. I think you guys had one last hold that was actually just stalemate in like the third or fourth round. But outside of that, we never saw a last hold where you guys were on Disad where you had off classes set up, both soldiers buffed, and traps on the point. There's always something or multiple pieces missing. You guys are pretty good about getting like NG gun up and stuff, but your soldiers were never buffed and there were never traps on point. So they got like the first 2, maybe even 3 rounds by literally popping in and just standing on the point. And they got like 99% of the point cap doing that because both soldiers were in spawn and there were no stickies on point. So you got to be very disciplined. When you're on last, you know, your medic does not want to get caught to their Uber, right? So as soldier players and, you know, as a medic player, you guys need to be getting those buffs done before the Uber risk is there. So, you know, maybe instead of having your medic come out to buff, it could be dangerous. Have your soldier come back for the buff and then come back to your spot before they're already popping in, you know, and then keep that buff. Don't take a billion damage for no reason, you know. That'll make your last holds, you know, it's still a last hold to set. It's still going to be hard, but it's going to give you a fighting chance because the way it's being held right now, you're putting yourselves in a very difficult position to hold. And you still held sometimes as well, as difficult as it was. So that should tell you, like, if we can do it with no buffs, no traps, then we can definitely do it with buffs and with point traps and all that kind of stuff. So that's another good fix. I think the third most important thing is, I think this is a good thing for your main color as well, but this goes for everyone. Be careful with some of the riskier, greedier fights. Because we saw several moments of like pushing points down players, trying to like leave bad fights, but then come back in and getting nuked in chokes. Like the very last round we saw on their second, you had 3 players go forward after a mid fight and all die to spawners. You know, just a lot of kind of greedy stuff. And I'm not saying you guys, when I say greedy, I'm not saying you guys are like, yeah, we're gonna be greedy here and like do what we shouldn't do. I'm not saying you're doing that. I just call it greed because that's what I call it. But if it's because you guys don't know how dangerous the position is, and that's why you guys are getting punished for it, then that's important to note too. So if you're like, well, I wasn't being greedy, I just didn't realize it was so dangerous, then you need to identify that and be like, okay, why am I not realizing how dangerous this is? What am I missing? You know, and maybe that's spawn timings, or you don't realize your teammates are dead, whatever it is. But with those 3 things out of the way, this is a much more competitive match. I think they would have a lot fewer rounds, and you would set yourselves up to get more rounds. So that was kind of the theme of this match. Is, like I said earlier, it wasn't blue team playing like gods, outplaying you guys. It was more you guys shooting yourselves in the foot, and blue team was just kind of reaping the rewards of that. So, any questions or anything? I know we talked about a lot of smaller stuff, but I think that'll be stuff for people to hear in the recording. I'm not going to go over every little detail, but I think those were the 3 big points for me.
Well, I like just got here, so
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah. I think so. But yeah, thank
Alright.
you.
Your reviews are always valuable. Thanks for doing them.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.